everyone, this is Archive of 12, and today we have a new FabvL song. This is the TOJI song DØWN featuring Oricadia. Obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen. Have not seen Jujutsu Kaisen, and that brings me to a point that I want to make. Because I recently received this comment here that you're seeing probably right around here-ish, actually. So, yeah, don't do this. Don't gatekeep. I know that this came off of one of my Gear 5 Luffy reactions. The comment has since been deleted because I don't want anybody going to harass this individual. It's also the reason why I have edited out the name and the profile picture so that way it can't be found. But I just want to point out now that I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen, okay? I know that I need to. I hear wonderful things about it. But I openly accept the fact that I am not going to get some of these references. And if I do research, it's going to be on specific pieces of the media so that way I can get some of these references in the nerdcore songs. And so if I get something wrong, then I openly am willing to admit that. There are better ways of pointing that out than doing this. So please, for all reactors' sake, don't be like this individual. I would really appreciate it. That's all I really wanted to say. Anyway, getting back to FabvL. Yes, I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen. I am here to react to the music, not to specifically the references of the character or the anime. I'm here to react to the music because oftentimes I haven't seen that anime and the music still hits. So that's all I care about. If you're here for the music, fantastic. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because I will be pausing and we'll be talking about it. And without further ado, let's get started. Very interesting, like, full-on advertisement there. I imagine it's probably so that way he can elongate the video past the 15-second mark so that if he is cursing early on in the video, he doesn't get nailed by YouTube's newer guidelines. I think that's what happened because if we're now 18 seconds in and the music's just starting, so smart, honestly.
Around and put you on a nose.
Yeah.
I got dead bodies.
How did I know that? How did I know that that's why they elongated the the intro to that? That was the first word.
Fuck around and put you on a nose. I got dead bodies and I'm gripping sun and toe on my stick, yeah. 6 shots, stick them out, leave them in a dish, yeah. Dish out, I said I'll take them this year. Won't wait, I don't deal with heartbreak. Run up on that boy, leave them running with hate.
This feels odd. And it's not the performance that Oricadia is doing, it's the timing. It's the timing that that they're choosing to use to rhyme. It feels weird. It feels odd. Like, I don't know if there's offbeats that are going on in there or not. This is definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to listen to a couple of times. But just on this first little bit, there's just some odd timing for the way that the rap is going. I have to re-listen to that. Hold on a second.
I got no feelings on my face. Brush up the sins you can't erase. Born to deliver, return to sender. I've been a sinner, gang full of killers. Jordan. Oh, baby, you want my head. I'll be here. So when you break you and don't see what life looks like from here. I can't see it. I think it's time we burn it down.
Oricadia's verse. I heard it one more time. I ended up cutting it I'm cutting it from this so that way we don't have to like listen to something over and over again, because I heard it 3 times before finally choosing to continue. I have to say that, yeah, it's really confusing me. The rhyme scheme that Oricadia used, it's very unique, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's just confusing me because I can't pick up the rhythm, and that's something that I'm usually capable of doing. It felt. I think that the tempo was in a format that I'm not familiar with, and because of that, the beats were coming in ways that I was not expecting, nor am I used to. So this is probably going to be one of those songs where like I'm going to have to listen to it a couple of times for me to actually really understand what's going on when it comes to both the rhyming and the instrumental, which is fine. There's no problem with that. It just means it needs a little bit more work, I guess. When it came to FabvL's verse, or not his verse, his chorus, however, I'm not even going to say it's classic FabvL, because it definitely was its own unique thing. But I do have to say that it was not quite what I was expecting, and yet at the same time exactly what I was expecting, if that makes sense. Like, what he decided to say was very interesting and very curious, and that was the part that I was not expecting, but I expected it to go about as hard as it did. The only thing that I wasn't expecting was that it was as quiet as it was. I was expecting his voice to actually be a little bit louder in my ears, and so the fact that it wasn't, very curious choice, because I legit thought that his voice was actually going to be a little bit louder in my ears than it ended up being. So yeah, interesting. And it now sounds like we're getting into the second verse when it looks like FabvL's going to take over. So I'm going to rewind it just a little bit so that way we can start that verse over and hear what he has to say.
Draco in my pockets and I'd like to represent. Don't try to act like you know me now. Rockstar rich, you can't hold me down. And I'll really steal your bitch. You can't tell me nothing, no, you've always been a snitch. On God. Boys who deliver, return to sender. I've been a sinner, that's full of killers. Jordan. Oh baby, you want my head.
Okay, so FabvL's verse actually had a more classic rhythm to it, so I was able to follow along with it. The pre-chorus that Oricadia had, which I didn't recognize as a pre-chorus the first time, made so much more sense this second time because of the fact that FabvL outlined this verse to basically be more traditional and more, I guess, yeah, more traditional is probably the best way I can say it. It was more along the lines of something that I would be capable of listening to and following along with on the first try. Oricadia's is still feeling a little chaotic to me. But with FabvL's verse now outlining a proper rhythm, Oricadia's pre-chorus makes so much more sense. And I actually really appreciate that, because I did enjoy the pre-chorus, I just didn't recognize it as a pre-chorus. Ooh. Okay, before we get into this, 215. As soon as I said that was a pre-chorus, I now am doubting myself. So I'm going to rewind it just a little bit to see if I was correct on that or if I'm completely talking out of my ass. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, it was definitely a pre-chorus. So we were at 215. Right in the middle of a switch up, it sounds like. This is the part that I've seen. I've seen this part. I haven't seen all of TOJI's fight with Gojo or pretty much anything else with TOJI, but I have seen this part here. Yeah, I have to agree with Game Boy Jones there with that thumbnail. Pure energy. Like, that was a There's a use case song? I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Who did? Oh, Game Boy Jones. I didn't realize he did a use case song. Might have to check that out. Not now, though. Not now, though. I'll do that later. But, yeah, no, I have to agree with Game Boy Jones here with what he had to say with that. That was phenomenal. That was perfect for, like, the energy that FabvL was going for. That first verse, I just have to listen to it a little bit more. I have to get a little more comfortable with it so that way I can understand what's going on. Again, I didn't think it was bad, just kind of confusing. But to me, that's actually a good thing because that means it's forcing me to listen to the song over and over again so I can understand what's going on when it comes to, like, you know, music theory and stuff like that. So that's not a slight like at all. That's legitimately like me basically saying, no, well, you've got me at least for the next, 15, 20 minutes just listening to the song over and over again to try and figure out what the hell you were doing. So, yeah, no, it's definitely a way of getting me hooked. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I am Archov12, and I will see you in the next video.